not a bad photograph. It seems that the camera works perfectly. Now I can take a self-timed photo for Martha's frame. Camera is set up with the self-timer. With the enlarger, I can print the images from the film onto paper. It's always a thrill to develop a photo. You can't see anything at first, yet something invisible is captured on the black film, a kind of ghost. That invisible breath then returns to reveal the reality from which it was torn. There are those who say that photography steals the soul or captures it. That's why they used to photograph the dead, but nowadays almost nobody does it anymore. Even if it's just a delusion, I want to photograph Martha. I want to have a small reflection of who she was with me. But I have to do it secretly or they'll think I'm crazy. Yes, this is me. No one was ever able to tell us apart. But I never had the slightest doubt, and nor did Martha. It's strange how what identifies us most deeply is not visible to anyone. I was obsessively thinking about Martha and what had happened, but suddenly a thought took control. The memory of that day at the lake was becoming more and more like a dream when, after awakening, the image becomes more and more faded. Could it be that the memories were a figment of the mind? Had I been the one that hurt my sister? I had always envied her, and now I had taken her identity. I experienced a suffocating pattern of thoughts. I decided to go straight to the lake to retrieve the film rolls. They would tell a different story, I was sure. But deep down, I kept hoping they would confirm my fading memory. Of course the door is locked. The keys aren't hanging on the lock as usual, then they will be in Daddy's study. We live in fear now. My parents are not going to let me go to the lake anymore after Martha's death. So this is the right time. I need to know. The self-doubt I feel is eating me up. July 18th. Everything has changed. I feel like a different person. The best part of me left with Martha. My enthusiasm, my desire to live, and the will to joke around. I find myself alone, left to my own devices, confused with no desire or expectations. I was handling the cameras at the lake and there was a floating body on the water. I don't remember what I was doing before. Yet another memory lapse. That lifeless body was Martha's, my sister. Mummy ran up to me and hugged me, thinking I was Martha and that I, Julia, was dead. I didn't correct her mistake and now it's too late. If they find out I've been fooling everyone, I don't even want to think about it. I feel terribly guilty pretending to be Martha, pretending to be deaf. I took the photo for Martha's frame. I know it's too late now, and I felt incredible pain placing the picture. I said goodbye to her forever in that moment. I realized she was gone, and there was no going back. I must do one thing for Martha. I must find out what happened. The partisans couldn't have killed her. That's just ridiculous. Lapo is my friend, and he is one of them. He loved us so much. We know all of them. So it's just impossible. I don't have the courage to use the phone. Not right now. Here's the camera flash. Now I can photograph Martha even in the dark. Daddy's stuff. War maps. I've heard everything will play out on this new defensive line. I shouldn't risk it really, but I love watching them sleep. It's the only time they are together and not fighting. I don't have the courage to use the phone. Not right now. be nice to have you always by my side, even if it's just a picture. A tripod is necessary to take photos with long exposures. A lens and a roll of infrared film. They can photograph what the naked eye cannot see. I have found what I need to take infrared photos. With this lens, I can shoot very close up. Orange filter. When there is fog, it improves the image by giving it some contrast. Blue filter. Ideal for indoor photos. A photograph is both the present and the past, like a dead body. I don't know what I'm expecting. Maybe it's silly to think you can capture the soul of someone who has died. Her face can no longer tell me if what happened was my fault. I should have known that already. All I can do is head to the lake and get those rolls. I love the night, but this night scares me. In the dark, I can feel all the harm I've caused. It's getting closer with each step. I feel it brushing up against me like a cold wind. I hurt Martha. The closer I get to the lake, the more certain I am of this. How could it not be? I killed her to steal the love that everyone felt for her but didn't feel for me. How could I have done such a thing? pump for my bike. Damn lamp. Luckily I still have my lighter with me. The cameras are somewhere around here. Two cameras left. shred of fabric here in the woods. How strange. Let's take a photo of it. One more camera to collect. How could it have ended up here? It looks familiar. That's it. I've got them all. These films are going to help me understand what happened. Now I should rush home to develop them. Oh, yet another nightmare. She entered my dreams once more. Maybe she wants to talk to me. What am I saying? Fairy tales coming true. Yet I feel... No, these are the thoughts of a crazy person, and I'm not crazy. Oh, damn it, what's all this blood? I'm not due yet, and there's a lot more than usual. What's happening to me? Am I going to be joining Martha sooner than I thought? I have to wash up and do what needs to be done. If I'm sick, I have little time. The truth awaits me. It must be hidden within those rolls. What am I thinking? I would stain my clothes with blood. What am I thinking? I would stain my clothes with blood. Well, if I think I can go out in this state, maybe I am actually going crazy. .25 ISO film. When the sun is high in the sky, it's perfect. General Edict K. New rules on curfew and women's behaviour. German command of S. Vincenzo Attori. Telephone number 1185. The radio needs to be kept on at all times these days. It can save your life knowing things on time, especially before they happen. There are more and more weapons around, and everyone is scared after what happened. Romola, 15th of July 1944. Dear Mrs. Irene, I'm writing to let you know that all is well here at the villa. Thank you for being so considerate and caring. I apologize for the simplicity of the housing you were forced to live in. I also locked the room where the little one used to stay as requested. I've left you the key. It is the one with the pink keyring. Try to stay safe. Best regards, Nanny. Why on earth did Mummy have that door locked? It was my room. What is she trying to hide? Pervertin again. I feel like these pills do nothing other than agitate her. Dear Mother, this is hard, but I have something to tell you. I found out that Julia is pregnant. Go to the lake tomorrow morning at 7 and watch her as she bathes. You'll see that her tummy is growing. Martha. What? I'm not pregnant. Why is everything becoming even more confusing? I'm searching for an explanation, but instead I'm left with more questions. This is Mummy's jewellery. She wears them every day. even though Daddy says it's impractical and dangerous to show signs of wealth these days. As usual, she doesn't want to listen to reason and ends up arguing with Daddy until he goes to play war, as she says. Here are my cards. Nanny and I always used to play with them. She would predict my future and I pretended to predict hers. The future was always good for everyone. Maybe when she read them, she saw my true future which she hid from me. Or more likely, these cards are actually just a stupid game to reassure and deceive oneself with. But deceiving oneself is sometimes necessary. How can we live happily otherwise? The end of a relationship. It's very clear, but my plans will be successful. I only need to know what these plans are. The keys to my old room are not here. Where are they? She leaves them everywhere. I think she's having too many and too often.
From this moment on, it is forbidden for anyone to leave their homes and walk the streets of San Cassiano. All windows, including cellars, house entrances, and doorways, must remain closed night
Nets for catching butterflies, poor creatures.
I
had so much fun with them.
Where these do not exist, churches and other large buildings. The patrols of German armed forces have orders to shoot at people who are on the street, or who are found looking out of their windows. I shall repeat for clarity. New ordinance for the safety of citizens. From this moment on, it is forbidden for anyone to leave their homes and including cellars, house entrances, and doorways, must remain closed night and day. The population...
That's better. But I still don't understand all of that blood. That's never happened to me before. But I'm not going to tell my doctor. Otherwise he'll make me stay in bed and rest. The superior commander of the German Federal Armed Forces announces: 1. Whoever is in possession of weapons or explosives not reported to the German headquarters will be shot. 2. Whoever harbors bandits and/or protects them and provides them with clothing and/or weapons will be shot. 3. Whoever is aware of the existence of any rebel groups or even lone rebels without reporting them will be shot. Italian workers in Germany. The following rules are in place for workers who voluntarily work in Germany. A commitment of a maximum period of 1 year before returning to Italy. War rages on the Eastern Front. An attack launched by the Soviets after hours of cannonade. The fight on this front has been going on for a long time. Fighting in Normandy. Victorious Germanic counterattack on the road from Perrières to Carentan. Pont-Heber reconquered north of Saint-Lô. Many US losses caused by the flying bomb action. This is the centre of our farm, but since we moved here it hasn't worked like it used to. Security matters, Daddy says. I was afraid of animals when I was little. I never approached them alone. The box is empty. The telegraph would have been installed nearby. Best to stay close to home, at least for now. War, always war, even in paintings. These masks, I remember them vividly. I always tried to escape their gaze. Red filter for super high contrast photos. With this lens, everything gets bigger. This lens increases the framed area. It allows me to fit more into the image. I have to be careful and keep the volume down as I listen. I must go unnoticed. I am meant to be deaf after all.
Ready? Julia, you ready?
Sure, Daddy. I'm good to start.
I've already started recording.
Oh, no, my voice will sound awful.
No way, come on. Didn't you want to study singing anyway?
No, I was young and stupid when I said that.
Okay, ready?
Go. Oh, how nice. It's the rehearsal for last week's concert. I never heard the recording. But I was right, my voice is awful. Cannot be called singing. Anyway, it's time I develop these film roles. I can't wait any longer. I wish I could just stop time. These images could change everything. I cannot bear the fact that I may have hurt Martha. I would rather die. Damn my head and these memory lapses. It's such a pain not remembering. It's like getting lost inside yourself. What is this, a joke? Maybe someone wrote on the film? Also, what does that even mean? Light, like divine light? Something to do with religion, maybe? I'm carrying Martha to shore. I'm trying to save her. My memories, although fuzzy, do match reality. I feel a little better. Now I can find out who really hurt Martha. Maybe I should meet with the White Lady. She might be able to tell me something. Is this crazy talk? Yes, definitely. But what's normal about any of this? Maybe you have to be a little crazy to get anything done. Yes, I've undressed and I'm about to dive in. This matches my memory. Here I was running toward the pier, just as I remember. must have been Lapo, the dummy. There's little wonder why everyone thinks there's more than friendship between us. German soldiers. Daddy ordered patrols to be carried out near the house, but how could they have lost a helmet? God only knows.
Los, schnappen wir uns diese... Los! Hey, hey! Los geht's! Hier lang! Hier drüben! Oh, hey! Vorwärts! Hier! Sie sind da lang! Verdammt! Los, laufen!
What is going on here? What are the soldiers doing? It's dangerous, I know, but I want to follow them and see what's happening.
Verdammt!
Oh God, please no. Lapo, my dear friend. What have they done to you? Your handkerchief was the symbol of what you believed in. At least that is left of you. dear Julia. Are you surprised that I've addressed this to you and don't think you're dead? Everyone calls you Martha now, right? I know you too well. I can never understand why no one else can ever tell you apart. Not even your own mother and father. Martha is gone, and I cannot reconcile myself.
Du hast ein Mädchen erschossen, du Idiot.
Scheiße, scheiße, scheiße. Was machen wir jetzt?
Sieh mal, was sie um ihren Hals hat. Sie ist eine von ihnen. Es musste getan werden.
Sie ist die Tochter von General Erich K., du verdammter Trottel. Sie war die Freundin von diesem armen Kerl. Oh, verdammt, jetzt sind wir wirklich am Arsch.
Scheiße. Lass uns abhauen.
Aber sie lebt noch.
Sie liegt im Sterben. Siehst du, wo du sie getroffen hast? Sie ist bestimmt schon tot. Wir müssen jetzt abhauen, sonst sind wir auch bald tot.
I'm dying, I thought, but strangely enough, I wasn't afraid. In fact, I was almost relieved. When I returned, I found myself once again in the midst of a bad dream. One whose meaning I did not understand at the time. I give you back your appearance.
Two sisters were destined to die. Julia, the first sister, and Martha the second. On Julia's day of departing, identical twins stood before me, impossible to tell apart. They questioned my presence, since they were still so young. Julia must come with me, I demanded, but they both claimed to be Martha. I explained that Martha's fate was soon to be the same, and their games were useless. I didn't have time for it. The war was keeping me busy. But they didn't concede, and instead kept insisting. Can we follow you together? No, impossible. Are you sure Martha will die too? Nothing is certain in wartime. What if the wrong person went with you? Then you would have cheated death. One would die unjustly, and the other would simply be delaying her fate. They discussed amongst themselves, then hugged before one of them came forward. She stared in a determined, almost threatening manner. I guessed it was Martha sacrificing herself, giving more time to her sister. But I stayed silent, not to reveal their failed deception. No one lies to the face of their own death. So I asked how their choice was reached. We drew lots by throwing a medallion, she said quietly. They had trusted in fate. Oh, how naive they were. They knew fate plays by its own rules, which is true, but it is also my ally. Fate never would have allowed the wrong girl to follow me. In that case, my work was done. She must have been Julia. However, little to my knowledge at the time, that blasted medallion had the same name engraved on both sides. Martha's. So, my first assumption was correct. They were too damn smart, and had fooled both fate and me. One thing is for sure. I'll put things back where they belong. I will correct my ignorance and give fate back its blindfold.
Damn, this hurts so bad. I can hardly breathe. The ceremony is today, so I need a suitable dress. I would like to spend a moment with my sister, just me and her alone, before people arrive for the funeral and then take her away. No, my bag is not here. My diary. Lapo's letter.
How is she? How is my daughter? Please, doctor. Please give me good news.
It's a miracle she's alive, Eric, but she will be all right. The bullet passed right by her heart and exited her chest. Unbelievably, it missed her lungs, spine, and heart. She could have been paralyzed or died. But thankfully, she's fine. I examined her thoroughly. She didn't even lose that much blood. She was lucky. And you were lucky, so to speak.
She was lucky that my wife went for a walk in the woods. Otherwise,
She would have bled to death, yes.
I don't know what to say. All of this, it's too much. So much death and suffering. Nothing more.
Don't worry, Erik. She's young, so she'll recover quickly. I'll be here all day anyway.
Thank you, Doctor, for everything. Do you mind coming with me to pick my wife up from the cemetery? The funeral will start soon in the chapel.
Of course not. Lead the way.
You know, with all of these preparations for the funeral, Irina wants everything to be perfect. It's her way of coping, so she doesn't have to think about everything going on. She is a woman who has suffered so much. Maybe too much.
There's my bag. Thank God. Let's hope Lapo's letter is in there. July 19th. I retrieved the cameras at the lake, but I had convinced myself that I was the one who had hurt Martha. So much so that when I had the rolls with me on the way home, I found myself in another horrible dream. I don't even remember going to sleep. As soon as I woke up, I developed the film. The photos confirmed to me that my memory of that night was correct. It was a great relief. I have decided to go back to the lake in an attempt to communicate with the White Lady. I know it's a crazy thought, but I can't get it out of my head. I need to know what happened to Martha, so I must pursue every possible avenue, even the path of insanity. Dear Julia, are you surprised that I've addressed this to you and don't think you're dead? Everyone calls you Martha now, right? I know you too well. I can never understand why no one else can ever tell you apart. Not even your own mother and father. Martha is gone, and I cannot reconcile myself to that fact. I have to stay hidden, and sadly I can't run to you, even if I would love nothing more than to hold you tight and cry together. No words. I just want to be close to you. Can we meet in the barn tonight? I will try my best to be there around midnight. Don't be alarmed, but if things get ugly, please remember this number, 6934. He knew he was in serious danger, but what about the letter? I had it in my hand when the soldiers ran off. Mummy found me, and if she's read it, well, she hates Lapo, and now she must know who I am. No, she probably would have left me there to die. She'd rather have no daughter than the wrong one. Before I passed out, I must have put it back in my bag. There is no other explanation. To see beyond appearances. There are those who betray me and speak ill of me, but someone will know how to give me the right advice.
violence against citizens continues in La Romola, and once again General K's family has come under fire. Now it is the life of her sister, Martha.
When it's
that is
not too
in
sunny
danger.
outside, the
The blow
200
from the
ISO
gunshot
film
in her
works
back
well.
could have killed her. It is only by the grace of God that the girl is alive.
General Edict K. New rules on curfew and women's behavior. German command of S. Vincenzo Arturi. Telephone number 1185.
They are still far from the Tavernelli Val di Pisa. The German resistance on the Tuscan hills has been exhausting for the invaders.
I should pick up the phone but remain silent. If I let the caller speak first, I'll find out who it is.
Hello? Ma'am? Can you hear me? Is there somebody there? Mr. Eric?
It's the nanny. I can confide in her. Nanny? Hello, it's me.
What? Hello? Oh, my lord. I must be dreaming or something.
No, Nanny, you're not dreaming. It's really me, it's Julia.
Oh, my God. Julia, my little sparrow. How wonderful. Sorry, but I thought you were dead. I saw you lying there dead. This brings me so much joy that... Actually, you must explain to me, my little sparrow. What is happening?
I told Nanny everything that had happened. She was sad for Martha, of course, but very happy at the same time. I was the one she had a special bond with. I explained to her that I wanted to try and meet the White Lady, even if I knew it was a silly idea. But she didn't think I was a fool. Quite the opposite. She explained to me what I should do in an attempt to meet her. It was complicated. I noted everything down carefully in my diary. Who knows, maybe she did it only to keep me occupied, while deciding what to do with me and who to warn. I won't ever know, though, because that very same day, a bomb struck the villa and she died. They all died. We should have been in that house ourselves, but instead, poor Nanny. Bye, Nanny. I love you.
Goodbye, my darling. I thought I'd lost you. Be careful, my little sparrow.
Martha was taken to the chapel for her funeral. I want to say goodbye to her alone before everyone arrives. Attempted murder in La Romola. After the murder of Julia Kay, today her twin sister is the victim of another attempted murder. The condition of the young girl, found by the German troops, is no cause for concern. The political motive behind this is becoming all the more clear. But that's not what happened. It's all wrong. Mummy was the one who found me. The German soldiers shot me. Best to stay quiet. No one ever believes the truth. New ordinance ban on the use of bicycles. Over the last few days, cyclists have once again shot at members of the Italian armed forces and at civilians in the streets. The offenders will be punished in accordance with German martial law. Even in Florence, the war is beginning to be felt. Supplies are starting to run out. Bread may only last a few more days. Prices are rising dramatically. Meat can now be found for 100 to 140 lira per kilo. The gas has been cut and there is no coal. The Battle of Tuscany. German operations in the Livorno area. Extremely violent fighting in the streets of the city. Now I know what must be done to meet the lady. Nanny has explained everything to me. I must try to meet her early in the morning when it is foggy, or all will have been in vain. That's what the legend says. This is what I need to do. 1. I must re-invoke her loss by putting her into contact with her lover. To do this, Nanny said to look for his grave in the woods, but there are so many. Daddy always said that infrared photos can see what the naked eye cannot. Maybe then they also see ghosts. There wouldn't be anything strange about that now, considering I'm trying to contact one after all. How crazy. 2. A part of me needs to enter her world. A lock of hair would work, so I'll need scissors to cut some off. 3. I will need an object that connects her world to mine. I don't know what to do for this yet. Hopefully something will come to mind when I least expect it. 4. To communicate with her, I will need to use my tarot cards. I will meet with the lady on the island where her lover was executed.
You've called this number. Damn, Lapo must be dead then. Rest in peace, fair comrade.
Yes, Lapo is dead. I am due—
No, don't talk. We don't need to know who you are. By calling this number, it means Lapo wanted you to complete his work. A telephone cable near the house of German General Erich Kay has to be cut. One goes to the house, but there's another cable we suspect is connected to a secret base. That is the one that has to be cut. If you see any German vehicles around, let us know immediately. We won't use this number anymore. It's dangerous. Use a telegraph. That will be safer. I hope you know how to use them. Otherwise you'll have to come up with something. This is important. Frequency X. Before the message, telegraph "Town on fire" to identify yourself. Long live the homeland. Long live the liberation.
Should I sabotage the cable and become a spy? I don't know. My father is German. It would be like betraying him even though he himself hates this war. But what happened to Lapo and those guys? If I can save someone's life, maybe I should try. Or maybe I can talk to Daddy about it. He may be able to advise me on what to do. Don't even know the first thing about all this. What were you thinking, Lapo? To cut the cable, I will need sharp scissors. Tailor scissors should be fine. I have nothing to say to Don Attilio at the moment. Before speaking with him, I have to get a few things straight.